What do you want everyone to know about what it means to be a part of a Black family in America?
Wow. Well, mm, ooh. Well, just I want to say no. Always God. You always got to bring that first. One, God is first in the Black family. God is first. Know who you are is second, and just stick to just the values. Empathy, humanity, and have discipline and don't do as you see, and just stay strong and keep it moving as we always done. Yeah.
Yes,
So
indeed. Yes, indeed. Ramadan Mubarak. Greetings, Unhidden Voices family. Welcome to episode 30. We've made it to 30 episodes. Unbelievable. Please listen to this episode. It is an interview with my cousin Husain Goode. It's such an inspiration to hear him talk about how he's overcome the difficulties in life with the support and dedication of family. You're going to learn a lot from listening to Husain. So listen to this podcast, like it, subscribe to it, and follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. Listen, learn, and amplify with us. How are you?
we're blessed hanging in there. The weather in Jersey is starting to warm up, so we're starting to get the spring, the trees and flowers and everything. So we're excited about that. And for me, warm weather is good. Yep.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yep.
Okay, so for the audience, I have to introduce you formally and let people know how we're related.
Right.
So Hussein and I are related because our grandmothers are sisters. We're sisters. And so
Exactly.
my grandmother, Gertrude, is the oldest.
Yep.
And your grandmother, Georgia, everybody called her Bunk, or
Bunk.
we called her Aunt Bunk, was
Or
the second,
Gigi.
or Gigi, okay, so, was the second to the youngest. So, and you are Ray's son, and we've talked about Ray a couple times. My mom's talked about him, in the interviews I've done with her.
Right.
Even like on her birth, I just did one very recently on her birthday, and she was talking about memories she had of them. But I don't think people know that, other than us being related, people don't really know that much about you. So tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about you. Introduce.
Well, I was born and raised on 131 North 14th Street, which is one of the last blocks in East Orange. And the very next block to that is the city of Newark, of course. So
Mm-hmm.
I was raised on 14th Street, and I was always the smallest guy dealing with everything, whether it's sports, going to school or learning music, jazz, or playing chess or anything. I was always the smallest because I hung around Norman Goode, who's my father's baby brother, and I followed them everywhere they went pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually helped me be ahead of the game when it came to going through my own journey as a young man, because I always learned from the older guys. So when I was with guys my age, I was actually ahead of the game already
Wow.
because of hanging around with my uncle and my older brother. Yep. And
Yeah.
it was an amazing experience. And I just owe all of that between that and my family, of course. And let me just rewind real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just just by having God in my heart all my life, and my family has enabled me to go through life and have the journey that I had
Mm-hmm.
because of that. Yep.
Yeah.
So let me just say that first of all.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Indeed.
that was pretty much everything. Yep. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember the days when my grandfather and Garmier Bunk used to have us look ourselves in the mirror and say, I am somebody,
Wow.
before we even walked out the house. I
Mm-hmm.
am somebody. Yup.
Mm-hmm.
And always know who you are. So when you do that at a young age, and you have God in your heart at a young age, no matter what you face, you're gonna be okay,
That's
because people gonna throw stuff in your face regardless. But if
right.
you know who you are
Yeah.
already and you got God in your heart, you're good.
Yes,
Yup,
yes,
yup.
indeed. Yes,
So
indeed.
that was one of the most amazing things about me growing up. And all my grandparents were educated,
Mm-hmm.
disciplined, and they used to say, "Don't do as you see," you know, follow your follow your own judgment. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
follow your own judgment, because it's easy to do as you see. If you see somebody, oh, come on, let's do this, we all doing it. No, we're not going to do that. So that was major for me. Yeah, that was real major. And I just thank God that my grandfather Ray Goode, the second, he went down to Virginia, and
Mhm.
that's how he met Aunt Bump. Yep, yep.
Okay, wait, because there, okay, you're, I want to ask you some specific questions about yourself before we start getting into your grandparents.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, so tell us how many siblings you have and sort of where you fall in the line of the
We was
children
three
and your
boys.
parents.
That's easy. Three boys, one girl,
Mhm.
and I was the second oldest. Yeah, I was the second oldest. Then my sister Nicole, and
Mhm.
then Ray the fourth. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
and
yes,
Ray the
yes.
fourth. And I'm that's a whole nother story with me, with myself.
Mhm.
I am so proud, and I hold my head high
Mhm.
all my life, because my parents started their family as teenagers.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
as
yes,
teenagers.
yes.
I just turned 55 2 weeks ago. And
Happy birthday.
thank you so much, cuz. Yeah. And I just thank my parents so much every chance I get, because one, they're my best friends,
Mhm.
and they still raised me as parents. I still took those butt whoopings, and oh yeah, wasn't no getting around that part. And they taught us. They just taught us a little bit of everything, mainly about back to God again, and commitment, cause commitment. Yup,
Yeah.
commitment.
Yeah,
D.
how long have your parents been married?
This year is 56 years.
Wow, that's
56
amazing.
years, and I know y'all can probably do the math, but my mother's only 16 years older than me. Yeah, and
Wow.
yeah, I'm just so grateful to them, and they so that's where I dwell on my grandparents a lot, because I had two sets of parents.
Mhm.
Aunt Bunk and them lived on the first floor. We lived on the second floor. Michelle lived on the third floor. And when you did something stupid, or you got in trouble, or did something, that was two butt whoopings you got. You had to, you had to go through Pop first. Pop was gonna get you. And then my father worked. My father went to school and worked most of my life. Yeah,
Mhm.
most of my life. And real fast, shout out to Dad, Raymond Joseph Good the third. Yep.
Yes.
He started on the line as a manager. I know I'm jumping around, but he started on the line as a manager at Anheuser-Busch in Newark, and then he retired as an HRVP after
Wow.
starting his family at 17.
Wow.
Yeah. So never give up, and keep pushing.
Yes,
That's
yes.
that's that's all, that's in our blood, all the way from way back when. So I'm very proud of that as well. And
So wait, so let me, okay, so you said Michelle lived upstairs
yep,
and
third
you
floor.
also called so Michelle, people want to know who Michelle is. So,
Michelle Good is my father's one and only sister, and she's the second oldest. So it was Raymond Good the third, Michelle Good, and Norman Good. That was my father's two siblings. Yep.
okay.
and all us lived in the same house. That's the part is amazing too. It was just no doors locked, none of that. You can go from the first floor all the way up to the third floor. It was just one thing, don't get caught with. Don't get caught with your shoes off or no socks on while you going up them steps. Because my pops, yeah, Pop didn't have that. He was
Why?
he was very disciplined. Yeah, he didn't play that walking around with bare feet and all that stuff. Put something on your feet, you could damage your feet. Always take care of your feet. I learned that from when I was a little kid. Hygiene is a must. He used to say that's part of your hygiene. Don't walk around with dirty feet. Yep, because we used to go downstairs to the first floor with nothing on our feet and up, back upstairs. Go put something on your feet, then come down here. You can talk to me all day after that. But our household was amazing. That was one of the biggest things for me growing up that really touched my heart. And family always was everything to us. And whenever you had problems, you can go to the first floor. You can you can talk to my own parents, or you can always go upstairs to the third floor and talk to Michelle. Yep. So that was amazing. That was amazing. Yep.
So so how old were you when your grandparents passed away?
I'm glad you hit on that. That was a major part of my life. I was a sophomore in college, and when my pop died, I was shook. I ended up dropping out of college. It hurt me a lot. I wasn't prepared for it. It was out of left field. I want to say I maybe just turning 20, and and Pop died young. He died young, and it really hurt me. It did. It knocked me to my knees. And then I was lost for a minute. That was the first time in my life that I was lost because I blew off my football scholarship. I didn't go back to school. I stayed home. I was going to school out in Iowa, and my family got me back on my path. My father was like, "Hey, you got to do something," And then, because I went through the motions that summer and everything. And then I didn't go back out to Iowa. We celebrated my grandfather, buried him and everything. And then after that summer, I started working a part-time job. And with my mother got me a part-time job at her job. And then that summer program ended. And I still didn't go back out to school. And I started with this company called Coca-Cola. Right after that. Yeah, right after that. And then
so what did you do for Coca-Cola?
Distribution the whole time. I was a driver. Yep, distribution sales driver. And then I ended up going 31 years with Coca-Cola after that. Yep. Just and I always think of Pop when I think about my Coca-Cola career, because if he didn't pass, I probably, it's possible I would have stayed out in Iowa, got my degree and all that other stuff. But I came back home and went through a whole different journey. Yep, after my grandfather passed, because he was very he was a big part of my life. Between him and my dad, just the discipline that they taught us, the love that they taught us, how they taught us how to walk with our head high, to know who you are. You can do anything you want to do. My grandfather taught me how to tie my tie. I knew how to tie my tie by the time I was 10. I knew how to play chess. I learned chess before I learned checkers. I was listening to jazz before I was listening to Michael Jackson and all that other stuff. Yeah, all off my grandfather. Yep. Raymond Joseph Goode II. Yeah, he was major in my life. He was a big part of my life. Yeah, and I'm just glad we was all in the same household. Yeah, that was real big, major.
So why do you think that for you it impacted you so much, him passing, that you didn't think you wanted to go back to school? Why do you think
Because it was he was a drinker. He was a drinker, and he was a diabetic too. So it was just shocking the way he passed.
that?
Yeah, and it hurt me. Yeah, because I'd never seen that side of him before.
Mhm.
And as much as an educator as he was, as smart as he was, and all the mentorship that he had for me. It was like losing your father.
Yes,
That's
yes.
how close we was, and it just shook me. Yep, it shook me, and all I had to do, because that summer, was take 2 classes. Yep, yep. All I
Wow.
had to do was take two, and I ain't do nothing. I ain't do anything. Yep. And
Mm-hmm.
it, like I said, I was shocked and didn't do nothing I was supposed to do. And God just took me to another path.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I didn't go to the streets.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get into anything crooked or anything. And I just found another way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget, my dad told me, he was like, I was more proud of you, son, of rebounding, because
Mm-hmm.
it could have been easy for you just to go the opposite way, which
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
just
yeah,
easy to do for people.
yeah,
And
yeah,
once I got over it, they lifted me up, and then I worked it out. Yeah, but
yeah,
Pop was major in my life, and
yeah.
yeah, same with Garmir. Garmir was everything to
Wait,
us.
what do you call her?
We called her Garmir. We call I'm Bunk
Garmier.
Garmir. Gigi. Yep.
Garmier.
Yep.
Gigi.
Yep.
Okay. See, I'm
Uh-huh.
new now. Yeah, I always call.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody called. Well, because to me she's the auntie. So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
So Garmier, that's nice. That's nice.
she was everything. She was everything. Once we made it off 14th Street and we moved, I still came over there every day. I got my college letter of intent to Iowa Central out there. Yup, telling me that they wanted me to come play ball for them. They came to her house. I'll never forget that. Yup, yup. And
Wow.
yeah, it came to 131 North 14th Street. So that was always a big part of me, big
Mhm,
part of me, because
mhm.
it helped make me who I was. It helped me become the guy that like I always lean on Norm. Like I said, Norm and his crew,
Mhm.
hanging out with them guys, and they were 5, 6 years older than me. Yep.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah.
So,
My mom always said that she thought that your grandmother, Aunt Bunk was the prettiest of all the siblings.
all of them was fine.
Yes, they were
Yeah.
beautiful. Yes,
Yeah.
they were. And so everybody, and just to remind, so there were five siblings and then one brother. So it was
Right. Yep.
right. So Gertrude was the oldest. That's my grandmother. Then Aunt Helen,
Helen,
and then Uncle James, Aunt Grace, Aunt Bunk.
Ham.
Oh, that's Uncle Ham, right? It's
Right.
Uncle
Right.
James, right? And then Aunt Bunk, which is
Yep.
her real name was Georgia.
Yep.
That's
Gigi.
your Gigi.
Uh,
That's your grandmother. And then because her last name when she married was Good.
right.
So that's the Gigi. Okay.
Right.
And then the youngest was Aunt Boo, which was Margaret. Her real name was Marguerite Collins. So
Right. Yep.
that's John's mom.
Sean's mom. Yep. Yep.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So yeah, but
They were all beautiful, cuz.
they
Oh.
were.
Oh. Woo.
So do you remember? So because my mom moved out here, and I was born in New York, but we were raised out in California. So
Yep.
I don't really have any memories of my grandmother,
Right.
Gertrude. Do you remember her, like when you were younger?
Absolutely. So I look forward every year we would go to Atlantic City.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. They would put us all together in the station wagon, and we'll go to Atlantic City and hang out at our Gerd house, and have the hot dogs, the marshmallows, and we just all over everywhere. Yup, yup.
Mhm.
And then we would also do Aunt Carmen house a lot. Everybody would go to Aunt Carmen house. Aunt Carmen and them had a swimming pool. So,
Yeah,
and we did
yeah.
that maybe once a year as well. Yep. We would do that once a year, and everybody would load up the station wagon and head on down to Atlantic City. Yep.
That's
Atlantic
wonderful.
City's big in my life too. I used to go down there every year from the 70s all the way to the 90s, easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yup, easily. And
And as a
I,
result, you're really close to Mateen. Yeah.
oh, we like brothers. Yeah, we like brothers. We grew up like brothers. Same with Shelly and
Mm-hmm.
Dina. Yeah, all us. We every summer we'll get together, whether it's for a week or a long weekend. But we always made sure we seen each other and
Yeah.
do. I used to cry when I wasn't allowed to stay over.
Oh.
Because back then, East Orange to Plainfield was a long. It seemed like a short ride now, but back then, when we was in junior high, like sixth, seventh grade, we was like, oh, I want to stay over tonight. No, who gonna come get you? How you gonna get home? And I said, oh, come on, Dad, come on, please. Like, no, not this weekend. I remember days because I wanted to just be around them and hang out. And they lived in Plainfield. I was like, oh, can I stay? Maybe next week. And I was like, okay, I can't wait till next week. But yeah, we stayed real, real close. And
Yeah.
that's my brother. Yeah, do anything for him. Smart. He taught me so much, and vice versa. Same with Dina. Low demeanor. She didn't say much. And Wanda, yeah, we started hanging out with Wanda after college. Yeah, after college. So the bond just always been there. And from us coming up, from our grandparents and our aunts, how they always kept us together when we younger. We kept that going even when we became adults. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was real cool too. It's amazing, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when Aunt Dolores, in the later years of her life, she came to California, and I used to go with her walks. And there's this place in Oakland called Lake Merritt, and we used to walk the lake, and she would tell me stories about Aunt Bunk and how she stayed with them and how close she was to Aunt Bunk.
Yeah, they were real
Yeah,
close. They
they
were
were
real
very
close. I
close.
mean, like this. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They were real close, and
Yeah.
that was probably another reason why the connection was so tight.
Mhm.
Because I literally, out of all my siblings, I'm probably the one who uh stayed stayed the closest with Sean, Dina, Mateen, and Mateen. I'm sorry, and everybody because I loved it. I
Yeah.
was the go getter. Yeah, yeah. I was.
Yeah.
I always wanted to move around and just stay active with the family and everything. Yep. And Shelly, even when me, Shelly, and Dina coming up in the Lang City, oh man, we had some good times. Yeah, real good times. Yep.
Well, can you share a memory with us of something of a time when you were in Atlantic City with them?
Let me rewind because I also can't leave out Sean.
Mhm.
Uh, I would go to Atlantic City every summer for a week, and that was the other way. I stayed with Sean and Aunt Boo, and even I remember one year I used to go down on the bus by myself sometimes, and this is like junior high. And one year, me and Michelle went together. But just going down there every summer and connect with Shelly and Mutina to come down. Doug was little, so and how could I forget Doug? Me and little Doug is like this because I used to stay in Lang City so much. Um, Doug was coming up, and I was, a few years older than him. And our car was like, you just keep an eye on Dougie for me. And I was like, yeah, I'll watch him, because I probably had to go to work. But me and Doug rocked out hard, big time too. But
Yeah.
the biggest memory is just going down every summer and just spending time with a little bit of time with everybody, whether, before our Carmen and move, but going down and spending time in the pool and hanging out, family time. And then when they did move, just spending time with our Carmen at her apartment, hanging out with Doug. And then Shelly had her own place. Dina used to be over there all the time. And then summer's going down. staying with Aunt Boo and cousin Sean, and it was just amazing. Yeah, just being around family and having a good time. Yep, all every once a year, every summer. I always look forward to it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
you did mention that you worked for Coca-Cola for 31 years doing distribution. You was a driver for them. So can you talk a little bit about, so you're retired now, right? So
2019, cuz y'all officially retired. Yup, yup. And thank God for that. And thank God for me having the discipline enough to stick through my job. And on top of that, I loved what I did. Yeah, I really did.
yeah.
I had an opportunity in 2011 to go to sales, and I was like, no, thank you. I'll stay right here doing what I'm doing, and it worked out for me because I loved it. Yep, I really did. The company was they trained you. At the time I got hired, you needed 2 years of college or more, or your college degree. Guess how many years of college I had when I got hired?
How
Two.
many?
Two.
Exactly two. Wow.
Yup, yup.
Yes.
And the company trained you telemarketing, communications. They showed you how to deal with people, and they was just top notch back then. And I just loved every minute of it. You was in the field. I always been a people person, and I just rocked out. Yep, all 31 years, same job, and just it was amazing, and it went so fast too. That was the other part. It went so fast, but
Wow.
it was fun. It really was. And
Yeah.
when I had my surgery in 2018, I actually was trying to go back to work too. I wanted to, that's how much I loved my job. Yep.
Mm.
But they was like, you lucky you're not paralyzed. More, don't worry about going back to work. Just worry about walking. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Wait, so for the audience, they're not gonna know what you had surgery because we didn't talk about that. So
Well, in 2017, they found a benign cyst on my T12, and it was the size of a nickel. And that wasn't the problem. The problem was because it sat there for so long. We don't know how long it was there. I had water going all the way up my spine,
mm,
and it it was all the way at my neck when they caught it.
mm,
And by the grace of God, while I was working in 2017, um, I had a burning sensation to go up the right side of my body, and I reported it, and they sent me to get an MRI. And when they seen the MRI, they seen the cyst, and then they seen the water, and they said another 8 to 10 weeks, and that water would have went to my brain, and it would have been over.
oh
Yeah.
my
But
God.
listen to this. This is what I'm most proud of.
Mhm.
They said in front of my wife, the doctor who did my operation said in front of my wife and in front of my daughter, who was 15 at the time, if Husain wasn't healthy and in shape, I would have been paralyzed. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
because I took care of my body and I
Mhm.
was healthy, it
Mhm.
saved my life. Yeah.
Oh no, that's so.
So all the time I was trying to show my daughter and tell her, take care of yourself, take care of yourself, And then she heard it from a doctor that
Mhm.
made it, that co-signed it even more. So
Yeah.
I was super proud of that. And of course, I was glad I took care of myself because I would have been paralyzed.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So it
So
saved.
you just did physical therapy to get yourself because you're walking now, like right?
Yes, back
Yeah.
to that again. And they were telling me like, wow, only 2% people even walk. after having all what I had. Yeah.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
Hussein.
Yup.
Yeah, that's
Bless.
amazing.
Blessing. Yup.
Yes,
So
yes.
now even I'm on a cane now, and I have a disability. But when people come up to me and see how fit I am, and they say, "Oh man, what happened?" Blah blah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I look at them, and tell them like,
Mm-hmm.
"It's all good. Don't worry. Yup.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. But I'm walking. Yup.
Yes,
Yup.
Lord.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
walking. God could have sat me down. Yup. Could have could
Mm-hmm.
have sat me down. Yup. But
Yes, indeed. Yes,
yeah, yup. And I've done a lot on top of that. So that was a blessing. Yup.
yeah.
So I'm glad I stayed on my game with my health and took care of it. I always worked out. I always ate good. And guess what I used to tell my kid all the time?
What?
Balance what you eat, drink, and do. That's the name of the
Mm.
game. And that's what they
Wow.
always told me.
Mm.
Yep. From my grandfather to my father to my grandmother, they used to always tell us balance what you eat, drink, and do. And I believe them. I always believed them.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, let me say this too. I'm proud to say this. My parents never told me a lie that I know about. And I want my daughter to be able to say that about me. I really do. Yeah. They
Yes.
never told me a lie that I know about. All the wisdom and the knowledge that they gave me always was the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They never gave me the wrong turn,
Mm.
or the wrong knowledge or the wrong information. And
Yes.
I'm so happy for that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's why I can go to them at any time. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, can you talk about like how would you describe your family to other people?
Well, I describe my family as we all was so much of a part of each other's lives. One, and two, we the love,
Mm-hmm.
all love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the amazing part about it. All love. And I wrote, what I write down? Oh, all the good. Yeah, all the
Yeah, the
good.
good.
All the
Yes.
good that God let us do. Right, right. That all that came from family. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All that came from family. So on both sides, I've been able to have that on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
mother and father, and it's in our blood. You
Yeah.
can't make that up. So
Yes.
that's one of the biggest things I can say, and the love that we have for each other, even when we went through the bad times. Yeah, and it is, and my mother used to always say, and I believe it. If everybody telling you it's all good all the time, they lying. It's because it's impossible. Right.
Right,
It's
right,
impossible.
right,
So,
right.
and when I'm talking about my family, I always share that part because it means a lot to me, because that's when the faith and the commitment comes into play, to
Mm-hmm.
work through it, to
Yeah.
lift each other up. Yeah, because it's impossible for it to be all good all the time,
Yeah.
and my parents got married young and they hung in there. And I seen my mother go through the hard times before. I ain't scared to tell nobody. I
Yeah.
seen her with bags on the porch before. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
you ain't no getting around it. You got to go through it. You
Yes.
learn from it, and you make the adjustments. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they still together to the day, and my parents were, both of them retired before they were 60, and that's after starting a family as teenagers.
Wow. So wait, what you talked about your dad. What did your mom do? What was her profession?
Li Chemical. She was a computer analyst,
Wow.
and she started off with Li Chemical, and then she went to Hartz.
Mm.
Hartz Mountain, HARTZ,
Okay.
the 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 stuff for the dogs, flea
Mhm.
collars, and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, she
Okay.
worked
Yes.
for Leonard Stern. Leonard Stern was a big time billionaire on the Northeast, and he owned the radio station Z100. But anyways, yeah, she was a computer analyst for them, and super smart lady. Yeah, my mom's yeah, smart as a whistle. But her family was the same as our family. As I'm bunking them. Uh, my grandmother, super smart,
Mm-hmm.
95, 95 this year, born in 1926. She's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yup. Shout out the Gibsons. I want to shout out the Gibsons. Yup. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yup.
Yeah.
Uh, we have a soul food restaurant in the family for over 15 years now. The Gibson Takeout in
Where's that
in Pittsburgh.
at?
Yup. Yup.
Okay.
Gibson Takeout. Yup.
Oh.
And
And
that was my grandmother's brother, yeah, Pennell Gibson, and my great grandfather, Pennell Gibson. He played with Louis Armstrong when he was little. Yeah, he was a musician. Yeah, but yeah, my mom's super smart lady, started her family early, and after she had all her 4 kids, she got back on the horse, career woman, the whole nine, and did it all. Did so much.
yeah.
Volunteered, Girl Scout leader, everything. Yeah, I can't talk. I can talk to them black and blue in the face. So I'm trying to put a book together to write a book for myself.
Mhm.
One, to tell my story, but two, most of all, to tell my parents' story because I'm so proud of them. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of. Yes,
Yeah.
listen to this, cuz my father, because he didn't like the way the board of education was going in East Orange. He didn't like the way it was going when we first started high school. So he got on the PTA. He got
Mhm.
on the PTA. So once he got on the PTA, me and my brother, we had to go to the PTA meetings too. So he's
Hmm.
like, if I got to know what's going on, you definitely got to know what's going on. So he got involved in the PTA. So I started getting involved in that, knowing what was going on in my community, giving back and all that. So now, dad going to school, trying to get his BA, working at Budweiser, and became the PTA president, all at the same
Wow.
time. All at the same time. So now that was my freshman year. Now my sophomore year, same thing. Junior year, same thing. Then my senior year, he didn't like how things was going with the board of education president. I remember the lady's name. Her name was Mary Lett.
Mhm.
This chick was stealing from the East Orange Board of Education system.
Wow.
So my dad and one of his business buddies, Mr. Perrier, found out what was going on. They had an investigation on her, and come to find out, she was stealing. Yup. She
Mhm.
she got fired, and guess who became the Board of Education president of East Orange? My
What?
dad,
Your
Raymond J. Good
dad?
the third. Yes. So
Yes.
then he stepped his game up. So in other words, your actions speak for itself. That was the
That's
other
right.
thing between my grandfather and my dad that they taught us. Your actions speak for yourself. And I got friends to the day that say, you know why? That they became friends with me because you one of the brothers that do what they say they
Yeah.
gonna do. And you
Yes.
know who I learned that from, right? My
Yes.
father.
Yes.
So
Yes.
my
Yes.
dad went on to be East Orange Board of Education president. I graduated in 84. Nicole graduated, my sister graduated in 1987, and my brother graduated in 1989. How come Raymond J. Good III gave both of his kids their high school diplomas?
Wow.
Because he was East Orange
Yes.
Board of Education president. Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that was a good
Oh,
story. Yep.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so
Yep.
beautiful.
So not only did he do that, he went on to get his BA and his master's from Rutgers while he was working at Anheuser-Busch
Mhm.
and climbing up the ladder at Anheuser-Busch, and then became a VP as well.
Wow.
Super proud of that guy. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. So your both of your parents have now, they've since retired very
Yeah.
recently, or you
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh, they've been retired for a while now. My mom's been retired for a long time.
Mm,
A good 15 years. I say dad been retired about 10 now. Yep.
okay.
Yep. So they were in St. Louis for a minute. That's what before dad retired from Anheuser-Busch. They were in St. Louis. Left St. Louis, came to Williamsburg, Virginia, and then they really didn't like Williamsburg, and then they came to Delaware. Yep.
Mm.
So now they're 2 hours from us because we're in Jersey. Nicole's in Maryland, and my baby brother Ray Ray, Ray's in Irvington, New Jersey. Yep.
All right. So tell me, what role do you play in the family? What role do you play?
Uh, what role you mean? All my family?
Yeah, well, so when you think of family, and what do you think of first? Do you think of your immediate family, or you talk a lot about your parents and your grandparents?
Yeah, I think of my immediate family, of course, and then I think of all my family because for me, I'm that guy. I love all my family. I came to see you. Yeah,
Yes.
ain't no way my cousin gonna move to California to Oakland without me coming out there. You know, I'm one of them guys. Yeah,
Yes.
I stay in contact with all my family. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
family's everything to me. I always been the guy that's going cousins, aunts, grandmother, great aunts. I always stay in contact with all of them. Yep. So I just love all my family because that's how we was raised. That y'all
Yes.
they raised us that way,
Yes.
to make sure we know everybody, know who your cousins are, and always touch. My father used to always say, "Don't wait to reach out to somebody because nothing's promised."
Yes.
And speaking of that, my oldest brother was, he was murdered. My oldest brother was murdered in 1992. And
Mm.
even before that, if you think about somebody on that second thought, that second time you think of them, pick up the phone, reach
Mhm.
out to them. Yep. Let them know you're thinking about them. This is before Instagram and all that, all the technology, the Zoom, everything that we have now before all that came out. If you think
Yeah.
about somebody, call them, write
Yeah.
them a letter, reach out and touch them, and then just let them know you're thinking about them. And then that you reached out to them,
Yes. Right.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you reached out to them.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then if they don't get back to you, wait a little while and then try to touch them again. And then if they don't, then my father said, that you tried to reach out to them and your heart is good, in case something crazy happened.
Yeah.
So I always been like that, even I befriend my college roommates say I befriend people easily. I always been like that because I always been a people
Yes.
person. I think it's
Yes.
in my heart. Yeah, it's in my
Yes, it
heart.
is.
Yeah.
Well, so who do you think taught you? Because you talk a lot about your dad and your grandfather, but who do you think taught you to value family?
Ooh, I gotta say all of them. Yeah, big
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
My grandmother, Pernell Gibson, my great grandfather, uh, he meant a lot to my grandmother. And she lost her mother early, so that's
Mhm.
my mother's mother, Mary Baker Knight. So her grandma, Pop, my father's father, Raymond Joseph Good II. My mother, yeah, and I get my mother, her spirit is so beautiful too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes from my grandmother probably.
Mhm.
But a little bit of all of them gave me a little bit all in one. Yep, all in one. I definitely believe that. Yep.
All right.
And
Well, who in the family is your greatest teacher? And tell us something they taught you that you'll never forget.
hands down, Raymond Joseph Good II, my father's father. Yeah, yeah. Pop, like I said, uh, he just the way he disciplined us. how he taught us and showed us that we are somebody. Like I said, they used to make us practice, look in the mirror and say, I am somebody. And my father and my grandfather used to always say, at the end of the day, can you look yourself in the mirror? Yep. So just to tell you, all of what you go through, just do it the right way. Try to do it the right way. Yeah. What is the easiest thing to do in life? Because this is what they used to say. What is the easiest thing to do in life? Mess up and jack up. It don't take no effort. They used to always say that. It don't take no effort to do that. It's easy to do wrong. But to do right and to do the right thing and to reach your goal and and follow your path, it takes discipline. It takes effort. Yeah, DEP, discipline, effort, pride. That's my motto. I came up on that and I preach that to my daughter too. You gotta have it. Yup. And my father said I never would have did them 31 years with Coca-Cola if I didn't have discipline. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was like, hey, and that made for me, that made up a lot too. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and it's obvious too that from what you shared that discipline also saved your life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. And I learned that. I learned that from Pop and my dad. Yeah, big time. Big time. Yep.
Wow. Okay, so I just have two more questions. And then, okay, so let's see. This is Siri asking me. Okay. Well, I wanted to just first of all just say, and this isn't really a question, it's more so just a reflection on and just appreciating you, because and I was saying to Mom that it was actually on her birthday that you text me and you sent me all those photographs of the family and all of that. So I do want to know sort of like, how did that come about? Because that was just a wonderful thing, such a wonderful coincidence.
Back to my mother's spirituality. Her spirit is just amazing. I know I get it from her. I know I do. So we're talking, we're visiting on my birthday. We're visiting.
Wait, what day is your birthday?
March 26th.
Okay. So you're the day after Aunt Carmen.
I'm right after Aunt Carmen.
Okay.
I'm day after Aunt Carmen. So I'm visiting her and we're just talking and bringing down all types of memories. So my mother goes in the bedroom and she comes out with this big box and it has obituaries in it and pictures and everything, and then she just pulls out all these pictures, and my mouth just drops to the floor. I'm like, oh no, and that's how that came about. Yeah, and because I was telling her how I saved mine as well, and then she went in, and matter of fact, that's how it came up. We were talking about people who had passed. Yep, and she went and pulled the box out. And she had all that stuff in there. And my dad got it from Aunt Bunk before she passed. Yeah. And that's how she had all that information. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that was amazing. Yeah.
That is.
And I was like, that's what I was saying before. I was like, I was so happy that my grandfather went down south because that's how they met. That's how they met in Lawrenceville, Virginia. Yeah.
Because he went to St. Paul's University.
Yeah.
And so that school was so very close to where our great grandmother grandmother Georgia Hamlin lived on the property, and she taught. Did she teach? I think Mom said she taught nursing school at St. Paul's too. Our great grandmother.
I didn't know that. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, we have sort of like a history of like Aunt Dolores. She became a nurse. She took classes there. So that was just like a place where a lot, I think, our family. So your grandfather and Uncle Ham were on the
Played
same.
ball together.
Yes,
Yeah. They
So you
played
sent me
ball
that picture.
together.
I didn't even know that. That is so amazing.
Ain't that amazing?
That is so amazing. That's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. That picture
Yeah.
was just blew my mind. You know, they were just, oh, wow, just so handsome and just so proud and just, that was just lovely. It was just phenomenal.
And that was, and then after St. Paul, my grandfather was a sergeant in World War II. So when people talk about the flag, and I know I ain't gonna get into politics, but protesting, no, we're proud of the flag. We're very proud of the flag. So, but my grandfather was a sergeant in World War II and fought in World War II. Yep. So
absolutely, and so was my grandfather Joseph Herbert also fought in World War II.
Yeah, Herbert.
Right?
Herbert.
Yeah, because I have a picture of him with Aunt Dolores sitting on his on one knee and Jimmy Jackson on another knee. Oh, well, I just appreciate you so much. I love you so much. I'm so grateful to you. I'm so glad you know, just the relationship. And I said, this is going to be just so wonderful to talk to you and to see you. So
yeah, because you know I'm a talker. I'll sit down and talk all night. You know I love to talk.
Yes, indeed. That's so wonderful.
And
all right.
And I love people. Color don't matter. Just empathy, you know, humanity. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That's all we ask, you know. And that's how I was raised, and I truly believe that. I'm from a 99. Let me put this out there too. East Orange was 99.9% black. We were the third blackest city in the United States at one time. East St. Louis, Gary, Indiana, and East Orange, New Jersey were the three blackest cities in the United States. Don't think population, just think percentage. And you know, I went to a 99.9% white college, and all I want is treat me like you treat somebody else. That's it. Don't spit on me. Don't you know, nothing crazy, you know, and we'll get along fine. That's how the world should be. And I still pray every day for peace on earth and treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, that's been a big prayer. I worked for Coke for 31 years. I've probably been praying for that over 40 years, you know. Yeah. Every day I've been praying. And never stop praying. You know, always keep praying. Yo, I know you know that.
Amen. Amen.
Make a correction on my last take.
All right, go right ahead.
You asked me, did I ever feel like that I had been prejudiced